Of provinces, in collaboration with the National Assembly and the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature, is conducting an oversight visit to the province this week. The visit, known as the Taking Parliament or the Legislature to the People, is being held at the Buffalo City Municipality in East London. It will include public hearings, site visits and formal sittings on education, economic development, social development and human settlements in the Eastern Cape. So let's get more now on this. Our reporter Busisiwe Jemsana is there. Busi, a very good afternoon to you. This is sort of a people's parliament, giving people a platform to air their grievances, isn't it?
Indeed, Natasha, as I'm speaking to you right now, public hearings inside are continuing where residents are raising their concerns with relation to service delivery in their areas. Key departments they are speaking to at the moment is human settlement and social development, highlighting even also the closure of non-performing schools in the Eastern Cape. Whilst we were speaking to the Speaker of the NCOP, Mamutandi Mudisa, she said this year they are focusing on education to find out could it be linked to roads, could it be linked to social ills, to social problems that are there. But Natasha, she's right here with me and she's going to be joining us to tell us why education and why the Eastern Cape. Mamudisa, thank you so much for joining us. You were telling me that you are focusing on education specifically. Why?
Because education is an equalizer. It is, when executed well, it is a non-discriminator. It contributes to wealth. It contributes to good health. It contributes to social cohesion. But we're also focusing on it not just for these nice political terms, but because reality is that South Africa has been inundated over the years of an Eastern Cape that is accused of not performing well. So we thought we must come and see why the Eastern Cape is not performing well. We have therefore been able to get into the Eastern Cape and start looking at public libraries, ECD centers, primary schools, look at the infrastructure, look at school nutrition, school transportation, everything that makes education. Yesterday, I did not participate in that meeting, but we had a round table talk with institutions of higher learning to try and say, where are we going wrong with education, not in the Eastern Cape, in South Africa? What are those things that we need to put together to ensure that we produce a well-rounded, educated South African who is economically and socially independent, not just political. So we're looking at education because it is important for the survival of our country.
And this is not the first time that you're visiting the Eastern Cape. You did have a pre-visit. Do you have a sense of what seems to be a problem by now?
We do. We've looked at the infrastructure, but of course the Eastern Cape has more of a disadvantage when you look at its topography. Sometimes there are areas which are very difficult to reach, and sometimes these very difficult areas to reach actually suffer because even the material either to build schools or to communicate reaches them the last. So we're thinking that our coming here will begin to highlight these things which will ensure that the executive begins to prioritize the further higher outlaying areas so that all of them can then feel that they are under one regime.
And I did get a chance to listen to the people who were raising their concerns, eager and happy that their leaders are here. But some are complaining that they are brought into these public hearings and it ends here. Just how effective and productive are these public hearings?
The public hearings enable public representatives to ask questions on behalf of the electorate. They enable us to authoritatively, on behalf of these people, to insist on the improvement, on the quickening of paces of service delivery. We follow up, we harass the executive, and we are very happy that so far, since 2014, we have seen quite a quickened response to what Taking Parliament to the People have said. Just here in the Eastern Cape, when we came for the pre-visit in Alfred Nzo, We identified schools where we thought the toilets were deplorable. Temporary measures have been effected. We are not happy with the temporary measures. We are now going to be putting them under the microscope to ensure that proper toilets and ablution facilities are put in for those children. We have also noticed that some of the schools' classes are out. We know there are no laboratories. We know that some schools don't have computers in this day. But we also know that you need to do something about the teachers. Train and retrain and reorientate. So we are happy that we came. We have also been to schools which are exceptionally well behaved and producing exceptionally good results. So what we want to encourage is best practices shared and to develop a model where a weak school is teamed with a strong school, but that you do not actually allow the strong school to be dragged down by the pace of the slower one. So it is in the making.
Ms. Mutisa, thank you so much for your time. That was the Speaker of the NCOP saying that since their pre-visit in Alfredo, there has been measures put in place to fix the problems, to fix ablution facilities that were not there. In a space of less than 2 months, it would seem, Natasha, that indeed pressure is needed. Executives need to be harassed in order for them to deliver to the people. Now, education is not an isolated problem. It is being linked with road infrastructure, social development challenges, and human settlement in other areas. We will be speaking to the people inside just to hear how they feel, what they make of this public hearing, and how they would want Parliament to be closer to them. But for now, Natasha, from me, Busisiwe Jemsana, and cameraman Bulelani Scott, it is back to you in studio.
Busi, thank you very much. Busisiwe Jemsana live from the Eastern Cape. Well, Telkom